Today I would like to talk about service. We often hear about service when talking about community service or the amount of service hours that one has. But today I want to talk about biblical service from a biblical perspective. So first, just what is service? Practically by definition, service is work done to benefit another. It's work done to benefit another person. But more specifically, I want you to know about biblical service, that biblical service holds transformative power in shaping us into the image of Christ. It holds transformative power. Service is not just good. Biblical service is not just good. It holds transformative power. It does a work on the inside of us. And service was one of the key elements in Jesus' earthly ministry. We see in Mark 10:45, for even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. Jesus came to seek. We often hear that he came to seek the lost, to save the lost. But he also came to serve. He came to serve. It was something that he did while he was here. He did work to the benefit of others. So if we want to be shaped into the image of Jesus, we too should also serve. And I want you to know this. I want you to know about the idea of service, of biblical service, because it's pretty explicitly mentioned in the Bible. Jesus and the apostles very clearly talked about service and said that it's something that we should do in our lives. We see in John 13, Jesus being a servant. It says, this is when he was washing his disciples' feet. It says, he laid aside his outer garments and taking a towel, tied it around his waist. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel that was wrapped around him. Jesus is the perfect example of being a servant. And this is what he's doing here. He's washing his disciples' feet. The God of the universe washing his disciples' feet, being a servant. Later on, Paul would say about Jesus in Philippians that Jesus, being found in human form, humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross. Jesus humbled himself. He became a servant. So servitude is explicitly stated in the Bible. If Paul and Jesus proclaimed it so fervently, then it clearly holds a lot of power in our lives, and it's something that we should do, which is why I want you to know it. And so how can we apply service? How can we be a servant? Well, be like Jesus. Have a towel around your waist always. Be ready to wash other people's feet. If you're at a dinner party, eat last. Be the last one to eat. If someone is sitting by themselves at lunch, sit with them. Trade what you want to sit with your friends and sit with someone else. Pour into someone else. If you're at a game night and there's 10 people that can play a game, but there's 11 of you, then be the person that has to sit out. Even more literally, wash someone else's feet. When I was younger, we had a family Bible study, and one day we read the story of Jesus' disciples, their feet being washed, and we decided we wanted to wash one another's feet. And I remember very vividly, there was someone whose feet I didn't want to wash. I thought their feet were gross, that they were, out of all people, the person whose feet I would not want to wash. And so I did not wash their feet. I went for someone whose feet I thought were maybe better to wash or easier to wash, more comfortable for me to wash. And looking back, this is not what Jesus would have done or what I should have done. Jesus went after the outcasts, and he went after the broken, the tax collectors, the fishermen, the people nobody wanted, the sinners, because Jesus served all people, so we should serve all people just like Jesus. So when we have opportunities to serve just like these, we should serve. And why we should serve? Well, beyond the fact that it is good, again, it holds transformative power. As we serve, we become more and more like Jesus. We grow more and more humble. As we serve, we naturally, just almost unconsciously, become more humble. We grow in humility. This is what Richard J. Foster says in his work, Celebration of Discipline. More than any other single way, the grace of humility is worked into our lives through the discipline of service. So servitude, according to Foster here, creates humility. As we serve, we grow more in humility. It was a trait that Jesus had. He was humble. And as we serve, we grow to be more like him naturally. We become servants because when we are servants, we see deeper into humility, which is one of the character traits of Jesus Christ. So if you want to be more like Jesus, you should be a servant. And here's my bibliography.